Hey guys, so I'm back. I know it's been a couple of years since I've uploaded my one and only video, but today, since I had a little bit of extra time, I just wanted to show you guys how to make a Nicaraguan style pound cake, vanilla cake, birthday cake, however you want to call it. um so let me just run you down through through all the ingredients that I have here. So you're gonna need a pound of butter. um I'm using this is an Irish butter. It has about a 82% butter fat in it. Of course, you can use whatever kind of butter you want, great value, you know, doesn't really matter as long as it's butter. I have 400 grams of sugar here with 1 teaspoon of salt. If you're using salted butter, I would just go ahead and skip this step. Since I'm using unsalted butter, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt. I have a quarter cup of whole milk here. I have a pound of flour with 2 tablespoons of baking powder that I'm gonna add to it after I sift it. I have here, this is a total of 12 eggs. You're gonna use 4 whole eggs and 8 egg yolks. And you're gonna use a tablespoon of vanilla and a little bit of lemon zest. But this is completely optional. You don't have to add it if you don't want to, but I personally like a little bit of lemon zest into it. You can use about half to an entire teaspoon of it. All right, so in total, you're gonna need 1 cup of liquid. Here, I'm splitting it up with a quarter cup of milk, and we're gonna complete the 1 cup of liquid with the 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And the rest of it, to complete the 1 cup of liquid, you're gonna use just water. And that completes our 1 cup of liquid. All right, so in the bowl of a stand mixer, we're gonna go ahead and add the butter. I took this butter out of the fridge maybe about 10 minutes ago, so it's not in the quote-unquote room temperature stage. The butter, it's firm, like it's quite firm. This is kind of like how you want it. It will soften up as we start mixing it and adding all the ingredients, but from my experience, using a semi-cold and firm butter works better with when you're baking a cake that incorporates the creaming method. I find that it holds the air bubbles when you're creaming it a little bit better than if you're using butter that is too soft. Then it just gets kind of like soupy, and it doesn't cream up as nicely as if you use a butter that has that is a little bit firm. So we're gonna go ahead and start creaming this butter for a few minutes just to soften it up, and I'm gonna take the chance to grate my lemon zest into the cake mixture. So this is about as much as I'm using. It's about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, and I'll be right back to show you guys how the mixture comes along before we add the rest of the ingredients. All right, so I've been creaming the butter for, I don't know, maybe about a minute or so. I'm going on a medium-high speed. My mixer has 10 speed settings. I'm going at a number 6. So with the mixture on low speed, we're gonna start adding the sugar and the pinch of, well, the teaspoon of salt. I'm adding it on low speed so you know the sugar doesn't go all over the place. But as soon as the you incorporate the sugar, you can go ahead and start increasing the speed. So super important thing to note is that when you are, usually a lot of butter cakes do use the creaming method in order to incorporate a lot of air into it. It's very important that you cream the butter and the sugar really well. Creaming takes, depending on the temperature of your house and how soft the butter is, it could take between 6 to 10 minutes. It's important that it does not look like this. The butter, at this point, the butter and the sugar are just mixed. There isn't a lot of air incorporated into it. So that's something important for you guys to know. And throughout the process, you want to make sure that you're going around the bowl. This is if you have a stand mixer, you're going around the bowl with your spatula and cleaning the sides of the bowl. That way we can have an even, creaming process of the butter and the sugar. So once I clean that up, we're gonna go ahead and keep mixing. All right, so it's been about, maybe about 7 minutes of creaming. As you can see, the color here is completely different. It's, it's very nice, fluffy, it's soft. This is ultimately what you're looking for when you're creaming your butter and your sugar. This helps incorporate a lot of air into the mixture, and ultimately it will allow for your cake to rise. It also is important to note that although having your butter and your sugar cream really well, you don't want to overdo it. That will cause well, not only would all the friction of the mixer cause your butter to melt slightly, and it could affect the final texture of your cake, but incorporating too much air will ultimately cause your cake to basically rise too much in the oven, and then it's eventually going to collapse in on itself from having just so much air incorporated into it. So especially if you're a beginner, a lot of what you're looking for is visual cues. What you're looking for is for the mixture to pretty much almost double or triple in size, or in volume, should I say, and for it to change color from a really, depending on how yellow your butter is, going from a darker color to a much lighter color, and to kind of have the consistency of I want to say maybe like mayonnaise, like some very fluffy mayonnaise. But now that this process has been finished, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the addition of the eggs. The eggs, I'm gonna add them one by one, and we're gonna wait maybe about 30 to 45 seconds in between each addition of the eggs to make sure that they do get incorporated evenly into the cake batter. Essentially, a cake batter is a type of emulsion, and what we're looking for is to have a very homogeneous mixture, and for the mixture not to break, essentially. so once you've added about half of your eggs into the mixture, it's also super important to go ahead and scrape down the sides of your bowl once more, just to make sure that everything is getting incorporated evenly and you don't have any, uncreamed butter on the sides of your bowl. Scrape the sides and the bottom of your bowl, and then we're gonna finish adding the rest of our eggs, and then we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so I've already incorporated all of my eggs. I let the machine run for maybe about a minute or so, just to make sure that everything is well combined. Now we're going to go ahead and add our flour, well, our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. We're gonna do this in 3 additions of dry ingredients and 2 of wet ingredients. So we're gonna put in 1/3 of the dry ingredients. This is all gonna be on low speed, by the way. We're gonna put in 1/3 of the dry ingredients, wait until it's incorporated, half of the liquid ingredients, wait until that gets incorporated, another 1/3 of the dry ingredients, wait until that's incorporated, add the liquid, and then again add the final addition of the dry ingredients. All right, so I finished mixing the cake batter on the machine, and I'm just gonna give it one last go around by hand. Just wanna scrape everything down and make sure everything is well incorporated. I don't think I mentioned it at the start of the video, but you do want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees and have that ready. I will be using 3 8-inch cake pans for this cake batter, but this can also be easily adapted to 4 8-inch cake pans or 4 7-inch cake pans, depending on what you're using it for. But this is what the batter looks like. It's nice and fluffy, and I will go ahead and put this into the cake pans. All right, so the cakes came out of the oven. They took about, well, this one took a little bit longer to cook, but these two took about 35 minutes or so in the oven. This one took about maybe like 38 minutes. So just play with that time frame, and pretty much these are the results. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one open so you guys can see, and we'll do a taste test. So here's a cake and also a face reveal. Let's go ahead and cut into this and see how it came out. So I hope you guys can see this. Oh my god, this smells amazing. Jesus Christ, look at that. This is amazing. You can see the crumbs. Let's go ahead and have a little taste. That is really good. As you can see, it literally just like falls apart. Look at that. You can really taste the butter, the vanilla, and just like a hint of that lemon zest. Jesus Christ, I'm making a mess here, but this is delicious. I hope you guys try this recipe, and if there's anything that you guys would like to see me do, could be any other type of Nicaraguan food. I'm from Nicaragua. Just please let me know in the comment section below, and please remember to like and subscribe while I finish this.